In the early hours of December 2025, something unusual happened across South Korea's largest beauty retail platforms. Popular online stores slowed down. Product pages refreshed endlessly. Physical branches of Olive Young reported empty shelves by midday. The cause was not a flash sale or a holiday discount. It was a single announcement. Park Jimin of BTS had officially been named the new global ambassador for Later. Within hours of the brand's confirmation, multiple laden haircare products, some of which had remained stable in sales for years, were completely sold out nationwide. Social media platforms lit up with screenshots of sold-out notices, fans lining up outside stores, and international customers asking how to ship the products overseas. For many observers, this was not a surprise. For the beauty industry, however, it marked one of the most dramatic endorsement impacts of 2025. And for Jimin, it represented something deeper, a carefully timed return to public life, influence, and cultural leadership after completing his military service. This is the story behind that moment and why it matters far beyond shampoo bottles. Later's official announcement was brief and understated. A single statement confirmed that Jimin would serve as the brand's global ambassador, accompanied by a minimalistic campaign image showing him with natural styling, soft lighting, and an understated elegance. There were no dramatic slogans, no exaggerated promises, yet the effect was immediate. According to Korean retail tracking reports, Later products experienced a sales spike of several hundred% within the first 24 hours. Olive Young branches in Seoul, Busan, and Incheon confirmed that key product lines were sold out before the end of the day. Online platforms placed items on backorder, with restocking notices extending into January 2026. Industry analysts quickly began using a phrase that has followed BTS members for years: the Jimin effect. But this time, the context was different. Later is not a luxury fashion house, nor a mass-market celebrity brand. It is a professional haircare company, respected in salons and known for its science-based formulas. Choosing Jimin was not about flash. It was about credibility. Brand insiders revealed that Later had been seeking a global figure who represented refinement, discipline, and authenticity rather than loud, trend-driven marketing. Jimin's image, graceful, meticulous, emotionally expressive, yet reserved, aligned perfectly with that vision. Unlike many idol endorsements that rely on exaggerated glamour, the campaign focused on realism, healthy hair, routine care, and subtle confidence. This strategic alignment is what turned the partnership into more than just another celebrity deal. Jimin completed his mandatory military service earlier in 2025, along with fellow BTS members. His return to public life was gradual and deliberate. Unlike pre-military eras filled with constant promotions, Jimin chose to re-enter the spotlight carefully. Limited appearances, select projects, meaningful collaborations. The Later ambassadorship became one of his first major individual endorsements after service. Fans noticed. Many commented that the campaign felt grown, calm, and secure. Others noted that Jimin appeared more grounded, more comfortable in his own skin. In a year where public scrutiny of idols has intensified, especially around privacy and personal boundaries, Jimin's measured presence resonated deeply. Within minutes of the announcement, hashtags related to Jimin and Later began trending on X, Weibo, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans shared photos of emptied shelves. International Army coordinated group orders. Beauty influencers reviewed products they had never previously covered, simply because Jimin was now associated with them. More importantly, the conversation was overwhelmingly positive. Unlike controversies or rumors that often dominate idol headlines, this moment felt celebratory.
Calm.
Supportive. For many fans, it was not about buying hair care. It was about supporting Jimin's next chapter. Marketing experts quickly weighed in on the scale of the impact. Several analysts noted that Jimin's endorsement did not simply boost short-term sales. It repositioned Later globally. Search interest for the brand increased dramatically outside Korea, particularly in Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America. Online retailers began listing Later products as Jimin recommended, even when not officially stated. This phenomenon reflects a broader shift in idol influence. It is no longer limited to fandom purchases. It affects mainstream consumer behavior, in other words, Jimin is no longer just selling to fans. He is shaping taste. Jimin has long been associated with aesthetics, elegance, and emotional expression. From his dance lines to his vocal tone, his artistry has always leaned toward refinement rather than dominance. In the beauty world that matters, consumers increasingly value authenticity and relatability over exaggerated perfection. Jimin's public persona, soft-spoken, introspective, yet confident, fits that cultural shift. He does not sell aspiration through distance. He sells it through familiarity. This is why his endorsements feel less like advertisements and more like personal recommendations. One of the most significant cultural impacts of Jimin's ambassadorship lies in its challenge to traditional male grooming norms. In South Korea and beyond, male beauty consumption is growing, but still often constrained by outdated expectations. Jimin's partnership with a haircare brand normalizes self-care without framing it as vanity. The campaign imagery emphasizes health, routine, and self-respect rather than appearance alone. For younger audiences, especially men, this representation matters. Beauty industry insiders have described the collaboration as a long-term brand strategy rather than a seasonal campaign. Rather than pushing limited edition products, later peers focused on building sustained association with Jimin's evolving public image that suggests future campaigns, international expansions, and possibly co-created content or product lines. If history is any indication, such partnerships tend to deepen rather than fade. For ARMY, the announcement carried emotional weight. Many fans interpreted the partnership as a sign that Jimin is comfortable, stable, and confident in his post-military life. After years of intense schedules, scrutiny, and pressure, this moment felt calm and earned. Comments across platforms echoed similar sentiments. Pride, relief, and quiet joy in an industry often driven by noise. This silence spoke volumes. While the later news focuses on Jimin individually, it inevitably ties back to BTS as a whole. With members gradually returning to active schedules, each individual project contributes to the group's collective momentum. Jimin's successful ambassadorship reinforces the idea that BTS's influence has not diminished, it has diversified. Rather than competing, the members' individual achievements strengthen the group's cultural presence. As of now, Leda has not announced additional campaign details. However, industry expectations are high. There is speculation about international shoots, expanded product distribution, and digital storytelling content featuring Jimin. Meanwhile, fans continue to monitor restocking schedules, review products, and share experiences. The ripple effect continues. In a year filled with rumors, debates, and uncertainty around the future of K-pop, this moment stands out for its clarity. And controversy.
No scandal.
Just impact. Jimin becoming Leder's global ambassador is not merely a brand endorsement. It is a statement about maturity, influence, and the evolving relationship between idols and the world. And judging by the empty shelves, it is a statement people are eager to support. To understand why Jimin's appointment as Leder's global ambassador resonated so strongly, one must look beyond sales numbers and brand metrics. In the K-pop industry, endorsements are common. What is rare is an endorsement that feels symbolic. Jimin's image has always occupied a unique space. He is not positioned as the loudest voice in the room, nor as the most aggressive trendsetter. Instead, his influence has grown through consistency, emotional intelligence, and an almost quiet authority. That is precisely why this partnership struck a chord in a time when celebrity culture is often driven by controversy, spectacle, and instant virality. Jimin represents the opposite. He represents continuity. Over the past decade, BTS members have gradually crossed a threshold, from idols to cultural figures. Jimin's journey reflects this evolution clearly. Earlier in his career, Jimin's public narrative centered on performance, his dance technique, his stage presence, his vocal color. As the years passed, attention shifted toward his emotional expressiveness, work ethic, and personal growth. By 2025, Jimin is no longer discussed solely as a performer. He is discussed as a presence. The later ambassadorship reinforces this shift. It places him not in a fantasy world, but in everyday life, bathrooms, routines, mornings before work, moments of quiet care. that proximity changes everything.